Paul Cantrell. I was born November the 9th, 1929. I have two brothers and two sisters. I have one brother and one sister older and one brother and sister younger than me. I was raised in Galena. Went to school and graduated out of Galena High School. Like I say, we was raised in Galena, and we went to, the whole family attended church there at the 6th Street Baptist Church. And I was saved when I was 9 years old over there. And all my brothers and sisters attended that church, and they were all saved there too. And my dad and mother they were way before our time. They were saved. We met in school. I think it was 47. I graduated out of high school in 47. She was a year behind me. She graduated in 48. She was she was a country girl. She lived out in Chico I don't know if you know where Chico is, but I walked out there many a times. And when Doris and I got married, after I came back out of the service, we moved over here. We moved here in 54, I believe it was.
Did you often or to this house?
In this house, and lived here since. Yeah.
You tired of it yet?
No. Just keep doing something, adding on to it all the time. It was a very small house. It had a bedroom and a living room and a kitchen. And a little lean-to attached garage. And of course, it built up and out. We had a bedroom upstairs and a big game room upstairs. I don't know if you've ever been up there or not. A pool table up there.
What? Paul!
I had one guy that would come by and help me every once in a while if depending on what we was doing, where it takes two people to do it. He'd come by and help me. But I done most of it myself. Doris was pretty handy at doing stuff too. And I was drafted only two years in the Army. 50 to 52. Spent most of that time in Korea, in Busan. Wasn't in any combat, but it was close to it. You could hear it. It was close enough to you could hear the rifles and things going off. But I wasn't involved in any of it. And we had radar equipment, and I worked on it some. And I don't know. It was more of a pleasure being over there than anything else. We spent time in Japan too. Well, I guess I kind of followed my dad. My dad was, of course, he done it as a living, and mine just because I want something to do, get out of the house mainly. But Dad was a woodworker, but he was done all kinds of things. He's a plumber as well as woodworking, but he liked woodworking. And I guess I kind of followed him on it. And then my son Larry, he's come along and he's kind of following me. And of course he does a lot better than I do. And after I retired from Eagle Picture in '93, I probably spent more time out here then than I ever have. I don't know, I just enjoy working with wood. There's so many things you can do with it. And I have a lathe that I don't use it much anymore, but I used to turn stuff out on the lathe, and it's kind of interesting to see what's going to come out of a hunk of wood. You don't really know what you're going to do when you start.
God gave him this woodworking talent. He didn't have any formal training. And Diana Cantrell is as much like him.
As if she were his
own
daughter instead of a daughter-in-law.
Right.
43 years. 1950 to 1993. 43 years. See, that was our business there, and that part of the plant was batteries.
Testing
Testing and
batteries.
building
Now,
batteries.
didn't they finally graduate up to the lunar module there or the rover that ran on the moon? Did you guys end up fixing the batteries for
Yes,
the land, what do they call that, the Land Rover?
Land Rover. We built the batteries for almost all
All the space.
All the
Space
NASA
stuff.
stuff.
test units to test out other equipment with. It was portable. You could pull
That's
over.
portable?
It's portable where you move it around.
It didn't look too portable to me.
So we had, in the test lab, we had various types of equipment that had to, required maintenance on, you know. Well, I worked out there in I worked the day shift all the time I was out there. And I built boxes when I come home from work for shipping, for Eagle Picture to ship things out in probably 8 or 10 years. I built them. I wish I was still doing that. So Larry, he got to help me on that for a while, and then when I quit doing it, why he took it over. And I think he still builds some boxes for him. Even Diane does most of it now. And I've done a lot of traveling for them, you know. And I worked in the test lab out there, and we had quite a bit of equipment there to run most of the tests that we had. Batteries that were built for various uses, and we had to test them for those uses. But most of them we could do there at the plant here in Joplin. But a lot of times we'd have to go out somewhere else. We went down we made several trips to Los Angeles. And Doris go with me, and paid her way. To just act like you're on vacation. Well, it was a full-size pickup, on a full-size pickup, and it was dressed up to live in. It had a stove in it and beds, and Doris and I done a lot of traveling in that camper, in the back of her truck, and I could build my own as well as good as they were. And I just enjoyed doing it. We built the electric one because we built batteries out there. So we built a motorcycle out there, and I was the one that got to keep it. And
Wow.
in fact, I think we built 2 of them that we had out here. And they'd ride 2 people just as good as a regular sized motorcycle, really.
Is that the one we was riding on when we took the wagon out there?
Yeah.
For the Centennial?
So you guys pulled a wagon with that?
Yeah.
Just a little tiny one. It's still out here behind the barn.
Okay, now that was powered off of one of the batteries
But
there.
it's battery
On
powered.
the Eagle Picture battery.
You named it the silencer?
Yes. Yeah, you don't hear it.
You can
It's
sneak.
silent. I mean, it was wonderful. No noise.
No noise at all.
You ran that thing from Joplin to Tulsa and back
Yes.
without charge?
Yeah.
Huh? Did you without charge?
Yeah.
That's 200 plus miles.
That was about the distance we.
The electric car, how involved were you in that deal? But you got to drive it some.
Well,
right?
I drove it most of the time. But in fact, we kept it out here.
Now, were you able to get around town pretty good in it?
Oh,
though?
yes.
Was it pretty snappy from like?
Yeah, it was. It'd get you out of the way.
So this is more of an abstract question, but if you had some advice to give to younger guys, younger men, what do you think that advice might be?
Well, I don't know. I guess everybody ought to have something to do besides a regular job. Of course, everybody needs a regular job to raise their family on. But everybody needs a workshop or something to do to spend their extra time in. And, I don't think it necessarily has to be a workshop like this, but just a place that just where they can learn. You learn so much yourself.